Hi, I'm Sydney, and today I'm going to be watching Nightmare on Elm Street. So I've decided to go ahead and go through these whole series of movies of a Nightmare on Elm Street franchise because I've actually seen this movie like at least 20 times. I actually know this movie very well. I have not reacted to a movie on my channel yet where I'm so familiar with the film because, I don't know, that kind of seems like it's against the idea of a reaction in some ways to me. But that's like for my Halloween series I did. So many of you guys asked, why are you going to react to the Rob Zombie movies? And my answer was always no, because like I've seen those ones before, so there's nothing fresh about the experience for you guys to see on my end. But how could I start this series and not watch the original? It wouldn't make sense, which in context, this is the only one I've seen and I love it and I've seen it so many times. And I can't believe I haven't dived more into the other ones. I've seen like snippets over the years. Maybe I saw parts on TV as a kid, but I really have only seen the first one. So let's go ahead and jump into this classic film. Here we go. Also, when pulling it up, I did see that it has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is incredible. Kind of rare for a horror film, it feels like. And yeah, it came out in 1984, rated R, hour and 31 minutes. Here we go. Wes Craven film. So I love Wes Craven. Obviously I don't even know if I'll be able to keep my thoughts straight because I gotta just let this opening ride out. It's such a classic, stunning opening. I love that the way she runs in this opening shot, because it kind of feels like, I don't know, it's a little like messy, but that's kind of the way it feels like in dreams. I've definitely had dreams like that where like it feels like you're running but you're not moving kind of thing, and that's how her running looks. Music by Charles Bernstein. I don't think I've ever really looked into that before, of who did the music, but they nailed it. This score is so iconic. Written and directed by Wes Craven. Oh yeah. Okay, now we get into the deep cut questions. First observation, all the teens in this movie have crap parents except for Glenn. They seem fine. Well, no, the dad's kind of a jerk, but you think in that moment the mom is thinking at all that could be Freddy, or she's being reminded of Freddy because of what's information is to come.
Matter of fact, I had a bad dream last night myself.
I had a hard on this morning when I woke up, Tina.
Yeah, next time you have one, just tell yourself that's all it is, right where you're having it, you know? Once you do that, you wake right up. At least it works for me.
Mr. Johnny Depp, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, I like Nancy as a leading lady. That's a whole separate conversation for as the film progresses, but just seeing her, I'm like, Nancy.
Fingernails? That's amazing you saying that. That made me remember the dream I had last night. What'd you dream? I dreamed about a guy in a dirty red and green sweater. You dreamed about the same creep
I see the guy, what's his face, walking outside in the background? Or was that just Glenn's? Yeah, it was. Okay. I like Glenn's Nike sweater vest.
Oh, what's that?
Intense, huh?
What is that tool even?
We got our mother's bed. You guys got the rest.
Gross. So yeah, I had this movie on VHS growing up as a kid and would watch it occasionally, and yeah, it's just kind of become a staple classic for myself with nostalgia. This is the part I'd just be like mute or whatever as a kid, which is like such an American thing, right? Where like the violence, I'm like, huh?
You feel better now.
Was it
right?
Monkey Man? Jungle Man. There she said.
You nightmares for either one of us then.
You had a nightmare?
When did you have a nightmare?
Guys can have nightmares too, you know. You can get a corner on the market or something.
This is one of the few, like, horror films that did give me nightmares, which is surprising. I knew I liked the movie so much, and even as a kid, I digested horror films pretty well. But Freddy Krueger is a character that, as a kid, popped up in nightmares a handful of times. I have one particular concept. So, like, as a kid, so, like, I'm talking, like, elementary school or something, this is not so much a nightmare, but, like, I would be afraid to go to the bathroom at night, like in the middle of the night if I had to get up, which is not super uncommon for a kid because it's totally dark or whatever. So I'd, like, get up, and I don't know why I was afraid that, like, while I was sitting on the toilet, that, like, Freddy's hand was going to come up or something. Probably due to, like, the bathtub scene or something. Showers, totally fine, but toilet, that's what was scary.
Who do you think you are? Whoever you are.
This effect holds so strongly. I know it's just a piece of, I can't, like, not elastic. I don't quite remember exactly what they said it is, but that effect looks awesome still. Yep. That's probably another reason why I love this movie, is just I have a love of practical effects. So Tina I like her as a character more. It sucks that she's the first to go, because I would have been curious to see. She's really, the focal point at the beginning of the film, which, makes her death a little more impactful, is because you're like, damn.
This is God.
But, she was promiscuous, so she's got to go. That's so nasty. Poor Rod, man. The Fred Astaire effect holds up so well still too. The rotating room. God, it looks so good. So good.
Father abandoned 10 years ago. Mother's in Vegas with a boyfriend. We're trying to reach her.
Oh yeah, he is the cop in Scream as well, I think.
Boyfriend.
Where is she? I put her in your office.
His name's Rod Lane. He's a musician. What was she doing there?
Hello to you too, Donald.
Marge. Okay.
Frickin' Marge. Large Marge.
Rod is not a lunatic, Dad.
Here we go.
I was saying it-
First sighting of the pimple. Her upper left, our right forehead. Poor girl.
Maybe you don't think murder is serious.
How can you say I don't take her seriously?
I feel like they must have filmed this in a really short period of time, because, or it's just certain scenes they filmed, but pretty much like most of this movie, poor girl, you can see that pimple. And there's a specific reason I mentioned that, not just to shame her. Like, teenagers get acne, it fits the character, whatever, I don't even care. It'll come up later that I'll mention why I'm bringing it up.
Did you sleep?
I'll sleep in study hall. I'd rather keep busy,
Psychotic twitching coffee sip. There's a good episode of The Movies That Made Us on Netflix where they talk about A Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember bits and pieces of it, because I just like binged that whole show. But here we go. Rod, 3, 2, 1, get her.
I never touched her.
Just move away from us, son.
Lieutenant, look at this. A switchblade.
I didn't do it! I didn't kill her, Nancy!
Now that I think about it, I don't have any other obvious movies that I know of that these kids. I was trying to think of, like, have I seen Rod in anything else? It's possible, but nothing that's coming to mind right now. The only one I think that really, like, went off was Johnny Depp, obviously. This woman, though.
According to Shakespeare, there was something operating in nature. Perhaps inside human nature itself that was rotten.
We got Something About Mary, Kingpin, a lot of, like, those comedy movies.
Trying to get beneath the surface. The same is true in a different way in Julius Caesar.
Classic classroom scene tells us about deeper insights into the plot, you know?
The grave stood tenantless, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets.
The sheeted dead. I think the concept of this film is still so gripping because there's something so helpless about being in your dreams. I personally, when I'm in a nightmare, sometimes will get into those brain so like when Glenn was saying, just tell yourself you're having a dream and you'll wake up or whatever. I've tried that. It does not work for me. I get into this weird like state where I'm like, it's not like lucid where I can control what I'm doing. I'm just aware that it's a dream and I'm telling myself it's a dream. Like, it doesn't matter. It's fine, but I'm still in it. So it does matter because I'm experiencing it still. Freddy
Where's
sighting.
your pass?
Screw your pass.
Hey, Nancy. No running in the hallway.
I wonder who that girl was. Like, what a fun gig for her. Going to like see it in theaters and being like, that's me.
Who are you?
Robert Englund kills this role. Like, it wouldn't be what it is without him. And I think I haven't seen the remake, so maybe we'll pop that onto the end of this franchise. But from what I've heard, that remake does not work. And I think a lot of that has to do with Robert Englund's just brilliant performance.
Come to Freddy.
Yeah, that like tongue stuff is so gross.
I'll go straight home.
You'll need a hall pass.
See, like, this movie has such an interesting humor within it. It's hard to articulate, and I know that the later films get way more campy and just cheesy, but even just like a little line like that kind of breaks the tension a little bit from the last scene. Shoot. My lighting is so blown out from the window, but it is what it is today.
I probably could have saved
Nah, Rod, you can't. You couldn't have.
if I'd have moved sooner.
Unless he'd woken her up, I guess. Maybe he could have. I don't know.
Hey, you think I did it?
No.
Yeah, Rod's such a punk in the beginning. He's not a likable character to me, especially like little kid Sydney, who is so like innocent and like a good kid. I'm like, oh, this guy's a punk. But man, you just end up feeling so bad for him. I remember, speaking of those like shell pillow things, I remember having one of those in my childhood home. So yeah, maybe this is the imagery coming to mind as a kid with the hand through the toilet. I don't know. But yeah, this is another classic terrifying scene.
Nancy? You could drown, you know.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
It happens all the time. I've heated up
It
some warm
does.
milk for you, honey.
Warm milk. Gross.
Have you guys ever had warm milk? I had a small phase where I was like drinking warm milk in like, I don't know, middle school or something. Like, I just felt like I needed something before bed to like chill me out. But I don't know why that would be is there actual any like, I haven't thought about that since, but is there any sleeping promoting properties to warm milk. I don't know. We have the classic blonde and the underwater shot.
I know, but I'm okay, Mother. I'm sorry for scaring you.
It's okay. I'll turn down your bed, okay?
This mom character just really pisses me off, and I don't know. Part of it is either the success or to the detriment of the actress. Like the way she puts on this motherly sort of, she talks in this breathy voice, and it just annoys me so much every time. It's so phony, and she doesn't feel like a real mom. But then I'm like, she is a crap mom, so maybe that's part of the success. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I saw the light was on. I thought I'd see.
We have our classic
Sometimes I wish you didn't.
later scream influenced moment.
Or somebody sees you.
Ow! Shh. I hit my head.
Be quiet. Mom's not even asleep yet. If you don't mind.
I love how much dorkier isn't quite the right word, but their dynamic is more like quirky and honest to me. Like they kind of just feel like best friends. Like they're close enough that she can just be like, get off my bed. Like I want to sit there.
I've got a crazy favor to ask you.
Uh-oh.
There's nothing harder, like a sort of a guard, okay? Okay?
Okay.
It's frustrating that Glenn he's just in denial clearly with more context, but he's having these nightmares too. Why is he not even considering or indulging the idea slightly? It's because he's, it's understandable in reality that you would just be like, no, just reject the idea completely as being an option. But within the film, it's like, come on, Glenn. He could have been a way bigger help if he would have just like embraced the situation from the beginning.
Glenn? Are you still watching?
Yeah, so?
I'm just checking.
I like that little moment. So do you think that was just her subconscious calming her down, like, Nancy, you're good, like, keep going, he's there? Or was she like half awake, half asleep there or something? I think it was just her subconscious though. Like Glenn wasn't really there saying that. Or had Glenn fallen asleep already and he was like in the dream with her? But I don't know. I'm overanalyzing it, but
Glenn? Glenn!
this is such a good Freddy setup. Classic. Like such torture for her. He's killing Rod.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, they all really have that like dream run. You can see the circles in the stairs already. Even as a kid, I noticed that. That's like one of the bigger fails in this movie is that you can see the holes already in the stairs. I get the effect, which is...
This is just a dream. This isn't real.
This is just a
dream. He isn't real. He isn't real.
Such a good scene, good interaction.
Glenn, you bastard.
I mean, it looks like it's 2:15. I didn't see what time it was actually when she first went to bed. Was it around 11? I'm like, that's a long time to just sit and watch.
I'm going right back to sleep.
Okay. Call me if you need anything, okay?
Gosh, she looks like such a flooze. Ooh, the feather. Anyways, but the stair thing is really good in concept in that there's things that are bent within reality, things that are slowing you down. But yeah, in execution, it's just not the best scene. my God, is it so like, am I gonna admit this, but as a kid who knew nothing, like I really didn't know why this came to my head, because I was like a pretty like very innocent kid. Again, elementary school, I thought that like at first when that towel comes up, did it look like something else to anyone else? That's all I'll say. I'll stop right there. You could fill in the rest with your imagination, and then here it's very obvious what's happening, but at first I was like, what is that?
Please, Daddy.
All right.
As a kid too, I thought Nancy's eyes were so pretty. I was like, wow, she's so pretty. She's such a cool teenager. Those blue eyes and the dark hair.
Killer's still loose, you know, but he's burned. And he wears a weird hat.
Ringing some bells, Daddy-o?
I'm going to get her some help.
Get yourself some help, Marge. I like the dynamic, though, that her parents are split up. It's interesting.
If you don't dream, you go. Okay, all set?
Oh, wait. I missed it. Damn. They put the tape. I was zoning out for a second thinking, but they put the tape thing right over her pimple. Playback.
Taking hers. Mm-hmm.
That is pretty dang cool, plot-wise. Cool, I don't know if that's the word. I like, though, that they are smart about implementing the science thing, or like that the mom does try to get her help. It just kind of reinforces the idea that what's happening is real. I don't know, it's kind of just an interesting piece within the film. I like too the choice that we're just seeing it from their perspective, that we just saw a whole like sequence kind of play out the other scene in the bedroom, so it's kind of nice to be removed from that.
It's Mom! Nancy!
I brought something out from my dream. I gotta go.
Well, hide the booze, Mom. When I was a kid, I actually thought, but yeah, I thought that your hair could actually turn gray, but
Did you ask
it doesn't
Daddy
really
to have the
happen
hat
like
examined?
that. If you want a good example of hair graying from stress, just look at the presidents when they got in office versus left office.
Give me that damn thing.
It even has his name written in it. Fred Krueger, Mom.
You'll feel better when you get some sleep.
Feel better?
You call this feeling
feeling better? Or maybe I should grab that bottle and veg out with you. Avoid everything happening to me by just getting good and loaded. Screw sleep!
Booby traps and improvised anti-personnel devices? Well, what are you reading that for?
I'm into survival.
I'm into survival.
I like that her house and Glenn's house are actually in proximity to one another in the filming sets, which is very rare.
Mother!
God, God, she's the worst.
You want to know who Fred Krueger was? He was a filthy child murderer who killed at least 20 kids in the neighborhood.
Did they put him away?
Forgot to sign a search warrant in the right place, and Krueger was free just like
That feels like it could happen.
A bunch of us parents tracked him down after they let him out. We found him in an old abandoned boiler room where he used to take his kids. Took gasoline. We poured it all around the place, then lit the whole thing up and watched it burn. But he can't get you now.
Mommy killed him.
He's dead, honey, because Mommy killed him.
Yeah, it's real reassuring, Mom. Thanks.
Stand by your window so I can see you. You stand a million miles away.
See, like this, how they could actually see each other for filming. That's really cool.
Listen, Glenn. I know who he is.
Yeah, well, I can save you the trouble. You're nutty as a fruitcake. I love you anyway.
Good.
then you won't mind cold cocking this guy when I bring him out.
What?
I always love the way he says, what?
Just meet me at my porch at midnight. Oh, and meanwhile, don't fall asleep.
Oh, Glenn. Like, midnight's not even that late, bro.
How can you listen to television and hear your records at the same time?
This is good.
Oh, I wasn't listening to the tube, Ma. Just watching. Miss Nude America's gonna be on tonight.
How can you hear what she's going to say?
Who cares what she says?
Don't be such a smart guy. I want you to go to bed. It's almost midnight.
See, seems like a nice mom. The one nice mom in this film.
The nightmare's over, please. Okay.
Okay. The like neon orange pink blood.
What's this about, Nancy?
Glenn's asleep. You'll have to talk to him tomorrow. You've just got to be firm with these kids. That's all. Let's go. As a matter of fact,
I get where the dad's coming from, kinda, but it's like, no. So the scene earlier in the boiler room, and then this scene coming up that's like notorious, or like the reason I always got kind of like pedo vibes.
Relax.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
It's so sick. I don't know. I had it on a live stream once on here. I was discussing this with some of you guys about like, is Freddy a P word? Because there's nothing ever like outright clear, but sometimes the vibes are just like, I wouldn't put it past him to not go that route. KRGR. Station KRGR. Get it? Get it? So crazy. Still looks really effective. Looks so good.
Frankie, give me a hand.
Stretcher, you're gonna need a bucket.
You won't need a stretcher up there. You'll need a mop.
Oh, just close.
Listen, Daddy, I've got a proposition for you. Listen very carefully.
I don't think he's gonna listen carefully enough.
Fred Krueger did it, Daddy. And only I can get him. It's my nightmare he comes to. Just come here and break the door down in exactly 20 minutes. That'll be exactly midnight.
Honey, you just do that. Get yourself some sleep. That's what I've been telling you all along.
Everybody in this whole movie is just letting Nancy down. Okay, the only other unrealistic part of this movie is that from her hanging up, she has exactly 20 minutes to do all this, fall asleep, catch him, wake up. It's like, no way. I love her gung-ho-ness, though, to just like, no one's helping her. She's got to take care of this on her own and just do the best she can. Because she's not just going to wait to get killed. She's going to do what she can. And in this case, that's just booby trapping the house.
You face things. That's your nature. That's your gift. But sometimes you have to turn away, too.
Foreshadowing? God, she just always like whips it out of nowhere. It's like,
You dreamed about the same creep I
Gonna get you.
I think when I was younger, I had to remind myself and convince myself more with this movie that Robert Englund was just like an actor playing a character and that Freddy wasn't real. And like, just because conceptually this movie is like so terrifying. And I think because I used to like actively remind myself of those things when I was a kid when watching scary movies, I'm at the point now where like I can't help but like some of the scariness factor just isn't as effective but I love and appreciate this movie because of that in a different way. Because I just go, oh my God, like I just love Freddy, because my brain now instantly is like, Robert Englund is doing such an amazing job. And because he's like, from clips I've seen of him, he just looks like such a nice, like kind, funny, sweet guy. And to see him like rocking this character is just like, it makes my heart warm, and it just like is entertaining, and it feels good, as opposed to like, but it's lost a bit of the maybe like effect that it did as a kid. But also, you know, just when you're a kid, it feels more real. But some adults like really can't handle watching scary movies either. And I wonder if it's because their brain has a harder time compartmentalizing that. That's so crazy. This is such a great moment here. Oh, she's just so exhausted and...
After all.
That look, like, it's so good. Here we go. Booby trap galore. Let's go. It's such a Home Alone moment. Come and get me.
Maybe I better go tell the lieutenant.
No. Sure. The fat Krueger, where he looks all thick. Looks more like Jason there than Freddy.
Next! Parker, get up here! We got a fire up here too!
You didn't see that when you walked in? Like it just happened right there. Okay, yeah, this is very cheesy. It's just like, but this transition's sweet, yeah.
Mother!
He's like, what?
Lieutenant, is everything all right? I don't know.
The dad's still like, I don't know. I'd be like, hell no. I like that his ear looks all shredded.
This whole thing is just a dream. You're nothing. You're shit.
Like a little Videodrome looking moment thing.
It's bright.
Oh, I feel like $1,000,000. They say you bottomed out when you can't remember the night before. No, baby, I'm gonna stop.
Oh.
I just don't feel like it anymore.
Just don't feel like it anymore. Oh.
Bye.
Looking good, girl.
What's going on?
Such a fun, good ending. Well, this part. Here we go. So weird. Yo. Robert Englund should have been way higher on that billing. That was Nightmare on Elm Street. A Nightmare on Elm Street. I never say the A, but A Nightmare on Elm Street. What a classic movie. Have you guys heard the Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Nightmare on My Street song? If not, check it out. I can't play because of copyright, I'm sure, but that's a fun one. Part of me is not surprised that this movie went on to be such a huge franchise, because the concept is so good. It really is something that everyone can relate to on a certain level, because in certain genres it's it could be easy for the viewer to be like, well, that would never happen to me. Like if you look at a movie like The Descent where they're cave diving and there's like these creatures, you go, well, I'm never going to go cave diving. Like that's not something I do. Or like I was watching Deep Blue Sea, the 90s movie, and I was like, you know, it's like a fun, entertaining ride, but there's a certain removal of like, you know, I'm never around sharks or whatever. But with this, everyone, you have to sleep. You have to sleep. It's a basic, necessary human function. And the idea that if you do that, like you're pretty much going to die is very scary. And I think can connect with a really wide audience. I kind of said my opinions about the movie through, you know, space sprinkled throughout there. So I don't have a ton to say about it other than I know I'm less critical about this film analytically than I am with other films that I'm reacting to because I have a lot more nostalgia tied to this one. I can enjoy it a little bit more. And sometimes I wish I like had that spirit. And I think I do when I'm just watching movies at home outside of the context of this channel. But for some reason, when I watch movies and I'm reacting to it, well, I have to talk. I have to be saying things while I'm watching it due to copyright. I have to cut away every 10 seconds or less if you've like noticed within the videos. So I have to be thinking of things to say. And because of I'm activating that part of my brain that is like, it just becomes more analytical in that way because I'm trying to be more observational so I can think of things to say. And because of that, I think a part of the just like experiencing of it gets lost, which I do get that. Like that's why I love going to the movies, is because there's like a bit of escapism, no phone distraction, lights off, and you're just in it. So I have those different sides to me, you know, but from what you guys see is just like that analytical side, right? But coming back to this movie, I can kind of let that go because I like just know it. I just know this movie, you know. I love it. It's truly a classic. So what does that mean moving forward? I'm going to try my best to shut off the analytical side of my brain a little bit to just enjoy the franchise because I know it's not going to be as good as the first movie. I just know that. They're going to get cheesier. They're going to get weirder. Freddy's going to get funnier. And I want to be okay with that. So we'll see how the rest goes. But as of today, that was A Nightmare on Elm Street. If you, for some reason, haven't seen it yet, it's on HBO Max right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, consider liking and subscribing. I'm getting close to, I think, like 4,000 subscribers, which is exciting. Yeah. So that feels like a milestone. Once I get to like 5,000, that'll be like really exciting. So I don't really like focus on the numbers too much, but it is just like a nice reminder to see how far I've come since the beginning of all this. So yeah, so thank you. Okay, I'll see you next time.